Good evening. It's soon 5 p.m. I have read a lot about batteries, lithium batteries. So I have eaten my hot food. I like to go to my bed, but it's not so late. It's not even 5 p.m. I have so much I like to read, so let's read the electric cars. Before it's getting too late, I like to watch the early Danish evening news, 6:30 p.m. Yes, let's read it.
Electric car. Modern all-electric cars Tesla Model 3, Nissan Leaf, Renault Zoe, BMW i3, BYD Type. An electric car or electric vehicle, EV, is a passenger automobile that is propelled by an electric traction motor, using only energy stored in onboard batteries. Compared to conventional internal combustion engine, ICE, vehicles, electric cars are quieter, more responsive, have superior energy conversion efficiency and no exhaust emissions and lower overall vehicle emissions. 1. However, the power plant supplying the electricity might generate its own emissions. The term electric car normally refers to battery electric vehicle, BEV, but broadly may also include plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, PHEV, range extended electric vehicle, REV, and fuel cell electric vehicle, FCEV. The electric vehicle battery typically needs to be plugged into a mains electricity power supply for recharging in order to maximize the cruising range. Recharging an electric car can be done at a variety of charging stations. These charging stations can be installed in private homes, parking garages and public areas. 2. There are also research and development in other technologies such as battery swapping and inductive charging. As their charging infrastructures, especially those with fast chargers, are still in its relative infancy, range anxiety and time cost are frequent psychological obstacles against electric cars during consumer purchasing decisions. Worldwide, 10 million plug-in electric cars were sold in 2022, a total of 14% of new car sales. 3. Up from 9% in 2021. Many countries have established government incentives for plug-in electric vehicles, tax credits, subsidies, and other non-monetary incentives, while several countries have legislated to phase out sales of fossil fuel cars. 4. 5. To reduce air pollution and limit climate change. 6. 7. EVs are expected to account for nearly 1/5 of global car sales in 2023, according to the International Energy Agency, IEA. 8. China currently has the largest stock of electric vehicles in the world, with cumulative sales of 5.5 million units through December 2029. Autos figures also include heavy-duty commercial vehicles such as buses, garbage trucks and sanitation vehicles, and only accounts for vehicles manufactured in China. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, in the United States and the European Union, as of 2020. The total cost of ownership of recent electric vehicles is cheaper than that of equivalent ICE cars, due to lower fueling and maintenance costs. 16, 17, in 2023 the Tesla Model Y became the world's best-selling car. 18. The Tesla Model 3 became the world's all-time best-selling electric car in early 2020, 19, and in June 2021 became the first electric car to pass 1 million global sales. 20. Together with other emerging automotive technologies such as autonomous driving, connected vehicles and shared mobility, electric cars form a future mobility vision called autonomous, connected, electric and shared, ACES, mobility. 21. Terminology. The term electric car typically refers specifically to battery electric vehicles, BEVs, or all-electric cars, a type of electric vehicle, EV, that has an onboard rechargeable battery pack that can be plugged in and charged from the electric grid, and the electricity stored on the vehicle is the only energy source that provides propulsion for the wheels. The term generally refers to highway-capable automobiles, but there are also low-speed electric vehicles with limitations in terms of weight, power and maximum speed that are allowed to travel on public roads. The latter are reclassified as neighborhood electric vehicles, NEVs, in the United States, 22, and as electric motorized quadricycles in Europe. 23. History. Early developments. Robert Anderson is often credited with inventing the first electric car sometime between 1832 and 1839. 24. The following experimental electric cars appeared during the 1880s. In 1881, Gustav Truve presented an electric car driven by an improved Siemens motor at the Exposition Internationale d'Electricité de Paris. 25. In 1882, Werner von Siemens presented the world's first trolleybus in Berlin. In 1884, over 20 years before the Ford Model T, Thomas Parker built an electric car in Wolverhampton using his own specially designed high-capacity rechargeable batteries, although the only documentation is a photograph from 1895. 26, 27, 28. In 1888, the German Andreas Flokin designed the Flokin Elektrowagen, regarded by some as the first real electric car. 29, 30, 31. Electricity was among the preferred methods for automobile propulsion in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, providing a level of comfort and an ease of operation that could not be achieved by the gasoline-driven cars of the time. 32. The electric vehicle fleet peaked at approximately 30,000 vehicles at the turn of the 20th century. 33. In 1897, electric cars first found commercial use as taxis in Britain and in the United States. In London, Walter Berzy's electric cabs were the first self-propelled vehicles for hire at a time when cabs were horse-drawn. 34. In New York City, a fleet of 12 hansom cabs and one brougham, based on the design of the Electrobat 2, formed part of a project funded in part by the Electric Storage Battery Company of Philadelphia. 35. During the 20th century, the main manufacturers of electric vehicles in the United States included Antony Electric, Baker, Columbia, Anderson-Edison, Rucker, Milburn, Bailey Electric, and Detroit Electric. Their electric vehicles were quieter than gasoline-powered ones, and did not require gear changes. 36, 37. 6 electric cars held the land speed record in the 19th century. 38. The last of them was the rocket-shaped large Aimé driven by Camille Janazzi, which broke the 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour, speed barrier by reaching a top speed of 105.88 km/h, 65.79 miles per hour. In 1899, electric cars remained popular until advances in internal combustion engine, ICE, cars and mass production of cheaper gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles led to a decline. ICE cars' much quicker refueling times and cheaper production costs made them more popular. However, a decisive moment came with the introduction in 1912 of the electric starter motor, 39, that replaced other, often laborious, methods of starting the ICE such as hand cranking. Gustav Truves personal electric vehicle, 1881. The world's first publicly presented full-scale electric car powered by an improved Siemens motor. Gustav Truves personal electric vehicle, 1881. The world's first publicly presented full-scale electric car powered by an improved Siemens motor. World's first trolleybus by Werner von Siemens, Berlin 1882. World's first trolleybus by Werner von Siemens, Berlin 1882. The Flokin Electrowagen, 1888, was the first four-wheeled electric car in the world, 40. The Flokin Electrowagen, 1888, was the first four-wheeled electric car in Fjord, 40. Early electric car built by Thomas Parker, photo from 1895, 41. Early electric car built by Thomas Parker, photo from 1895, 41. La Jamais Content, 1899. La Jamais Content, 1899. NASA's lunar roving vehicles were battery-driven. NASA's lunar roving vehicles were battery-driven. The General Motors EV1, one of the cars introduced due to a California Air Resources Board, CARB, mandate, had a range of 260 kilometers, 160 miles, with NiMH batteries in 1999. The General Motors EV1, one of the cars introduced due to a California Air Resources Board, CARB, mandate, had a range of 260 kilometers, 160 miles, with NiMH batteries in 1999. The Tesla Roadster helped inspire the modern generation of electric vehicles. The Tesla Roadster helped inspire the modern generation of electric vehicles. Modern electric cars. In the early 1990s, the California Air Resources Board, CARB, began a push for more fuel-efficient, lower-emissions vehicles, with the ultimate goal of a move to zero-emissions vehicles such as electric vehicles. 42, 43. In response, automakers developed electric models. These early cars were eventually withdrawn from the U.S. market, because of a massive campaign by the U.S. automakers to discredit the idea of electric cars. 44. California electric automaker Tesla Motors began development in 2004 of what would become the Tesla Roadster, first delivered to customers in 2008. The Roadster was the first highway-legal all-electric car to use lithium-ion battery cells, and the first production all-electric car to travel more than 320 kilometers, 200 miles, per charge. 45. Better Place, a venture-backed company based in Palo Alto, California, but steered from Israel, developed and sold battery charging and battery swapping services for electric cars. The company was publicly launched on 29 October 2007 and announced deployment of electric vehicle networks in Israel, Denmark and Hawaii in 2008 and 2009. The company planned to deploy the infrastructure on a country-by-country basis. In January 2008, Better Place announced a memorandum of understanding with Renault-Nissan to build the world's first electric recharge grid operator, ERGO, model for Israel. Under the agreement, Better Place would build the electric recharge grid and Renault-Nissan would provide the electric vehicles. Better Place filed for bankruptcy in Israel in May 2013. The company's financial difficulties were caused by mismanagement, wasteful efforts to establish toeholds and run pilots in too many countries, the high investment required to develop the charging and swapping infrastructure, and a market penetration far lower than originally predicted. 46. The Mitsubishi i-MiEV, launched in 2009 in Japan, was the first highway-legal series production electric car. 47. And also the first all-electric car to sell more than 10,000 units. Several months later, the Nissan Leaf, launched in 2010, surpassed the i-MiEV as the best-selling all-electric car at that time. 48. Starting in 2008, a renaissance in electric vehicle manufacturing occurred due to advances in batteries, and the desire to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to improve urban air quality. 49. During the 2010s, the electric vehicle industry in China expanded greatly with government support. 50. The subsidies introduced by the Chinese government will however be cut by